Understanding your paycheck, calculations, and terminology. In this presentation, we're going to review pay types and calculations, sections of the paycheck, check detail information, taxable wage information, pays, deductions, benefits, and time off leave balances. Lake Stevens School District employs multiple classifications of employees. Certificated staff, teachers, teaching support personnel, such as counselors, ESAs, librarians, speech and occupational therapists, and many others. Administrators, superintendent, assistant superintendents, executive directors, principals, and assistant principals that support the education process. Classified staff, office professionals, maintenance, grounds, technology, paraeducators, food service, delivery and warehouse, custodians, bus drivers, mechanics, nurses, student support staff, and other ongoing personnel. Substitutes and casual labor employees, substitute teachers and paraeducators, lifeguards, swim and aerobics instructors, technology support, sports, performing arts and stadium management, and more. Types of employees may see on their paychecks. This is not an all-inclusive list. Certificated employees' salary or contractual pay. Certificated employees who fall under the Lake Stevens Education Association LSEA bargaining agreement, administrators of memorandum of understanding, or athletic coaches are paid a salary. Salary pay is a set dollar amount for the school year or assignment. Salaried employees are typically not subject to overtime. Salary pay is divided into 12 equal monthly payments paid on the last district business day of each month, running September through August. There are some exceptions, such as employees hired after the start of the school year, hired to fill a short-term or semester-only assignment, taking an unpaid leave of absence, or other areas where the employees will have their contract prorated to reflect a shorter work assignment. There is additional pay that LSEA employees may receive on their paychecks as part of their bargained work assignment, such as enrichment, pay in addition to the base salary for work that is done outside the regular workday, including weekends, for lesson plans, classroom preparation, trainings, meetings, and others. Professional development. There are 5 mandatory workdays in addition to the base assignment set by the state and school district. These are for trainings and collaboration required to fulfill the employee's job duties. Extended time for LSEA. Pay outlined in the bargaining agreement for specified groups of employees whose job assignment requires additional reporting, meetings, or time to meet state education guidelines or program-specific additional activities. Examples of staff with extended time may be special education staff, counselors, librarians, CTE teachers, etc. This covers the main salary criteria for LSEA employees per their bargaining agreement. However, there may be additional pay for select required job duties. See the bargaining agreement for more information. Classified employee work agreement pay. Classified employees are paid based upon a work agreement. While the payroll system may refer to it as contract pay, it's not a binding contract like a certificated employee receives. A work agreement is calculated as follows. It takes into consideration the total paid days for an assignment times the total hours per day times the hourly rate for a total gross pay. Total gross pay is then divided into 12 equal monthly payments paid on the last business day of each month from September through August. Employees whose assignment falls under one of the following bargaining agreements will be paid from a work agreement: PSC of Lake Stevens, PSC office professionals, Teamsters bus drivers and mechanics, Teamsters custodians, or non-represented memorandum of understanding. Exceptions to the 12 monthly payment rule would be employees who are hired on a temporary basis to fill a short-term vacancy, start the position after the school year has begun, resign prior to the end of the school year, take an unpaid leave of absence, or any other situation where the employee does not work the position they were hired for. These employees will have their work agreement adjusted to reflect the actual days worked and earned. Classified employees fall under one of 3 work schedule types: school year student day only, extended school year, and 12-month year-round employees. School year employees work the 180 student days and have off the same breaks as the students: spring break, winter break, summer break. Paraeducators, food service, office professionals, bus drivers, custodians, and non-represented are examples of some employees who are school year employees. Extended school year employees work the student days plus an assigned number of additional days outside the school year to prepare for the opening or closing of school. They also have the same breaks as the students, with the exception of working the additional days during the summer, usually worked right after school's out in June and just before school starts in August. Examples of employees that fall under this classification would be office professionals, custodians, and non-represented employees. Year-round employees, or 12-month to 60-day employees, are employees who work all 12 months a year. They work 260 days and do not get the breaks off during the school year or the summer. Examples of year-round employees are office professionals, custodians, technology, maintenance, grounds, mechanics, and non-represented employees. You will see some groups are listed in more than one category. The workdays will vary depending upon the schedule assigned to that position the employee was hired to fill. School year and extended year employees will receive vacation value, or VAC value, as noted on their check, added to their paycheck each month. VAC value is a calculation based upon the individual's bargaining agreement that allocates a set amount of vacation hours based upon the assigned workdays, hours, and years of experience. This is paid out in 12 equal monthly payments similar to the work agreement and is in lieu of the employee being able to take vacation during scheduled work days. These employees are expected to plan their vacations during the natural student breaks and over the summer. Year-round 12-month employees earn a set number of vacation days per year based upon the union bargaining agreement. Vacation days can be used throughout the school year for these employees. Substitutes and casual labor employees. Substitutes are on-call employees who work as needed to replace an employee who is absent for a day. Some employees are required to have a degree or level of certification to be a substitute or to fill a specific position. Casual labor employees work in various positions on an as-needed basis and do not fall under any bargaining agreement. Examples are lifeguards, swimmer aerobics instructors, performing arts or stadium coordinators, students working in technology, or assisting with sporting events, to name a few. These employees are paid by submitting a timesheet at the end of the month that will be paid at the end of the following month. Salaries and pay rates. Salaries and pay rates are set annually for all school employees. Representatives from each bargaining group meet with the district administration on a 2 to 3 year rotating cycle to negotiate work and pay conditions. See the appropriate bargaining agreement for details. Pay raises go into effect on September 1st of every school year. School districts do not apply raises mid-year on an employee's anniversary date. They are applied based upon the bargained employment hire date criteria and applied accordingly at the beginning of each school year. Casual employees who make minimum wage will have their pay adjusted whenever the minimum wage changes. In summary, how is pay processed and paid out? Employees paid on a contract or work agreement will have their pay calculated based upon their salary FTE or assigned hours, days, and hourly rate and spread over 12 equal monthly payments. This allows employees to budget and receive a paycheck every month from September through August. This also means that pay will not match the exact hours worked each month, as is common with non-school district employment. By the end of August, employees will have received the total pay earned for the school year that was just completed. Extra hours and overtime are processed on a 1-month lag, the month after the hours were worked, as long as payroll receives the timesheets by the beginning of the following month. How to read your pay stub. Check detail information. This is a summary of the paycheck: the pay date, gross pay, which is total pay before taxes and deductions, and net pay, take-home pay after taxes and deductions. Taxable wage information. Paychecks have taxes and deductions mandated by both the state and federal government. Washington at this time does not have a state income tax. This section is a summary of total pay minus any pre-tax deductions that reduce the amount of income that is taxable. Pays. This is where employees will see their contract or work agreement pay plus any supplemental contracts, over hours, or unpaid time for that month's paycheck. There is also a running calendar year-to-date total of everything paid or unpaid since January 1st of the current calendar year. Deductions. Deductions are the taxes, medical premiums, and other elections that are withheld from an employee's paycheck. Some are mandatory by law, others are optional if the employee has chosen. Below are some common deductions employees may see on their paycheck. This is not an all-inclusive list. Federal withholdings is federal income tax required by law. This amount is calculated based upon how each employee fills out their W-4 form. W-4 forms can be changed at any time and as often as necessary during the school year. It is strongly recommended that employees check their paycheck upon occasion to ensure that they have had some federal withholdings deducted from their pay or enough, and make the appropriate changes necessary if they need to have more withheld. FICA. FICA is a Social Security deduction required by law. It is 6.2% of all taxable gross pay up to a set maximum amount per year and is for the purpose of Social Security retirement or Social Security disability. Medicare. Medicare is also a deduction required by law and is 1.45% of an employee's taxable gross pay, with an initial deduction amount for employees over a set income threshold. Medicare is the federal insurance program for retirees and persons with permanent disabilities. It is not medical insurance premiums for current employees. Workers' comp. Workers' compensation is a medical plan to help pay for the cost of employees' medical bills should they be injured on the job. All employees are required to pay a portion of or an amount based upon their hours worked into this workers' compensation plan. Lake Stevens School District is state insured for workers' compensation. Paid Family and Medical Leave, WPFML. Washington Paid Family and Medical Leave is a percentage of total gross wages. Employees who meet the WPFML qualifications may apply to the state for partial income replacement should they need to take time off of work to attend to their own or a family member's medical needs or to bond with a new baby. Long-term care, LTC. The long-term care deduction went into effect in Washington State July 1st, 2023. Long-term care is 0.58% of all wages earned to help employees should they or a family member experience a significant medical condition causing them to need help with activities of daily living. Teachers Retirement System, TERS, or School Employees Retirement System, SERS. All school employees who meet the Washington State Department of Retirement eligibility criteria are required to participate in one of the state retirement plans. These are state-managed pension plans with guaranteed monthly payments in retirement. Employees transferring between Washington State school districts continue to build the same TERS-SERS retirement plan with the Washington State Department of Retirement. Substitutes have the option to purchase retirement plan credit by contacting the Washington State Department of Retirement at the end of each school year. The following deductions are optional, however, some, such as SEB, have defaults that require employees to opt out if they do not want the coverage. All school employees who meet eligibility are enrolled in health benefits through the School Employees Benefits Board, SEB. These benefits are medical, dental, vision, life insurance, and long-term disability. Employee paid long-term disability at 60 or 50%. Long-term disability is an insurance product that will pay a portion of an employee's income should they become medically unable to work for more than 90 calendar days. The default enrollment is a 60% benefit level. However, employees can opt for the 50% level or waive it for a minimum benefit allowance. Health insurance through SEB. This heading will vary upon which plan the employee enrolls in. There is a cost for all employee medical plans, and employees can waive their medical if they have coverage through select other options such as TRICARE or a spouse's employer. Direct deposit, second or third. Employees are required to participate in direct deposit for all paychecks. They also have the option to choose a flat dollar amount to go to a separate bank account up to a limit of 3 accounts total. 403B or deferred compensation, DCP. Employees have the option to have money deducted pre-tax or tax deferred or after tax, Roth, in order to build additional retirement savings. There is a district-approved list of vendors to choose from, and there is no employer match for these. Additional deductions, some mandatory by bargaining group, and some are optional. Employees may participate in the following pre- or post-tax deductions. Pre-tax deductions are deducted from the employee's monthly paycheck before taxes are calculated, therefore reducing the taxable income. See IRS guidelines and the plans for specific detail and eligibility criteria. Pre-tax deductions, such as flexible spending for health-related expenses not covered by insurance, or dependent care flexible spending, DCAP, reimbursement for daycare-related expenses. Both of these require enrollment on an annual basis and will not roll from one year to the other should an employee choose to enroll in them. Health Savings Account, HSA, is available to employees enrolled in the high deductible health plan. These accounts roll forward from year to year. And the purpose of them is to allow employees who have a high deductible for their medical to build an account in order to pay those first dollars that are not covered by insurance until the employee meets that deductible amount. They also have a perk of being able to be turned into a retirement savings plan after a certain age. Voluntary Employees Benefits Association, or VEBA. This is Bargaining Group Specific Health Reimbursement Account, or HRA. Employees of individual bargaining groups who vote to contribute monthly may have a deduction going to VEBA for a set dollar amount that they can use to pay for medical expenses not covered by insurance. Teamsters Pension. This is for all bus drivers, mechanics, and substitute drivers. It is required per the Teamsters bargaining agreement for anybody doing work as a Teamsters. This is in addition to the state pension for those eligible. Post-tax deductions are union dues or union-affiliated deductions, such as LSEA dues for the teachers, WIAPAC, and NFCPE. Classified employees, we have the PSC office professionals and the PSC of Lake Stevens, and they can also enroll in COPE. Teamsters custodians, bus drivers, and mechanics. And United Way is available to everybody and has to be elected on an annual basis every fall. There are other deductions available to these mandatory or common deductions not listed here. Benefits. Benefits are expenses that are paid by the employer on the behalf of the employee. Most are required by the state or federal law. These are not deducted from the employee's paycheck, so when you see these amounts, do not panic. They are paid by the employer and not a payroll deduction coming from the employee. FICA, again, the school district has to pay 6.2% of employees' taxable wages. They pay 1.5% of employees' Medicare wages. The school district must also pay an amount toward workers' compensation and the paid family medical leave in order to ensure there is funds in those programs. TERS or SERS retirement, the employer pays a percentage to ensure funds are at an adequate level in order to meet state pension obligations. It is not a matching system similar to a 401k. It is a separate state pension. School Employees Benefit Board, SEB, the employer has to pay a set amount for every benefits eligible employee as set by the state legislature on an annual basis. Again, this is a large amount. It is not deducted from an employee's paycheck. Voluntary Benefits Association, or VEBA. Select bargaining groups have negotiated for the district to contribute a set dollar amount to a health reimbursement account, or HRA, on behalf of their employees. These funds can be used to help to cover the cost of medical expenses the employee has to pay out of pocket for themselves or their dependents, or it can be saved for used in the future or into retirement. Time off. There are several types of time off that may be available to employees. Employees who are hired into a bargaining union contract position and meet the criteria will receive sick, personal, and either pay in lieu of vacation or vacation hours to take. Sick leave is granted per bargaining agreement up to a maximum of 12 days per school year and can only be used for health-related absences for the employee or their family members. Unused sick leave will roll forward from school year to school year and can be transferred between school districts in Washington state. It is only cashed out at retirement. Personal leave. Most employees working under a bargaining agreement get 3 days of personal leave to use per school year. Personal leave can be used for any absence reason but needs to be requested in advance. Unused leave is cashed out in August for employees who work through the end of the current school year. Vacation leave. Employees who work all 12 months of the year, or 260 days, will be allocated a balance of leave they can take for vacations. Vacation leave for 12-month employees will roll forward from year to year up to a maximum. Other leave types. Other leave types may be available based upon bargaining agreements. Please refer to your bargaining agreement to see what else is available, such as bereavement, jury duty, etc. I-1433 sick leave. This law went into effect in January 2018, giving employees in Washington state who didn't previously earn sick leave the right to earn and take it as needed for themselves or to care for a family member with a medical need. Leave under I-1433 is earned at the rate of 1 hour of leave for every 40 hours worked. A maximum of 40 hours of leave under this category will roll forward to the next school year. Employees that have accumulated leave under I-1433 should contact payroll for the form if they need to use the leave. Unused leave under I-1433 is not subject to cash out. Thank you for viewing this presentation. If you have questions regarding your pay or benefits or any of the stuff mentioned in this presentation, please contact your payroll department. If you have a specific request or question regarding your work agreement or your contract, please contact one of the personnel in the Human Resources Department and they would be happy to explain how your pay was calculated.